Good girls do cheat. Oh, so much to comment on in this thread. Commenter Deep Dish, congrats on pointing out the Dracula metaphor. There was a Native American myth of women who had teethed vaginas. In such, the male does not exit the same as he entered. The Dracula metaphor is found in almost all mythologies in the world. Here is a passage from the Book of Proverbs. This book is intended to be advice for young men. What does it speak of? Why, the same wisdoms that are on this thread. It emphasizes heavily that wisdom is more important than any silver. It advises that one avoids these women and gives a beautiful description of the wife a young man should aim for. For I looked out of the window of my house through the lattice, and I see little ones. I behold a foolish young man, who passeth through the street by the corner, and goeth nigh the way of her house, in the darkness and obscurity of the night. And behold, a woman meeteth him in harlot's attire, prepared to deceive souls, talkative and wandering. Not bearing to be quiet, not able to abide still at home, now abroad, now in the streets, now lying in wait near the corners. Already we see the ancient description of women being bored and very deceiving. And catching the young man, she kisseth him, and with an impudent face flattereth, saying, I vowed victims for prosperity. This day I have paid my vows. Therefore I am come out to meet thee, desirous to see thee. And I have found thee. I have woven my bed with cords. I have covered it with painted tapestry, brought from Egypt. I have perfumed my bed with myrrh, aloes, and cinnamon. Come, let us be inebriated with the breasts, and let us enjoy the desired embraces till the day appear. For my husband is not at home. He is gone on a very long journey. The husband is gone. The woman is married. She is not single, and literally devouring the young foolish male. He took with him a bag of money. He will return home the day of the full moon. She entangled him with many words, and drew him away with the flattery of her lips. Immediately he followeth her as an ox led to the slaughter, and as a lamb paying the wanton, and not knowing that he is drawn like a fool to bonds. Till the arrow pierce his liver, as if a bird should make haste to the snare, and knoweth not that his life is in danger. His life is in danger? Why is this ancient tome of wisdom saying such a thing? It is speaking of the spiritual life of his soul. It is speaking of the spiritual life of his soul. Yes, but no. Just look around for validation. I see a fleet of young men, obviously gone the path that above foolish male did, and have their lives sucked from them. They lose their ambition. They just sit about, drowning in sensuality. They have become merely boy toys. There is no man in them. Now, therefore, my son, hear me, and attend to the words of my mouth. Let not thy mind be drawn away in her ways, neither be thou deceived with her paths. For she hath cast down many wounded, and the strongest have been slain by her. Her house is the way to hell, reaching even to the inner chambers of death. This is quite a condemning piece on these type of women, but the advice is sound. If the foolish young man could speak, he would say, Look at me! Look at me! I have sexed a married woman. Wow, that means I'm really special. I have such skills. I am so awesome that I am bedding married women. The foolish youth is filled with vanity. He does not see that the woman is merely using and discarding him. It is like the guy who thinks the girl he is dating really likes him. In truth, she is just bored on Saturday nights, and going out is better than being at home. All this talk of sexual revolution, of female independence, is a load of BS. As we can see, women have always acted this way. If there has been any sexual revolution, it has been in the decreased ignorance of sexuality. There are less and less men and ladies as time goes by. Rather than looking at things in a bad girl or good girl frame, it might be more helpful to look at it in a giving or non-giving frame. For example, the non-giving girl only sees you as a prop, as a boy toy, as an ATM card. This type of girl is all about her, of what she can get for herself. As a mother, she sees her children as merely agents to give her motherly feelings. She doesn't truly give her life for them or for the husband. The giving girl tends to be the sweet one. She sees children not as a bangle to give her more status to the world, or motherly feelings, but as someone to sacrifice and invest her life within. She even has that attitude towards you. She is the ideal wife and mother. Rather than good or bad girl, I think the giving and non-giving frame is more illuminating. Commenter BP 1947, I really liked your post. A man can't commit to a set of female genitals, only to a whole woman who knows how to act like a woman and how to make her man feel like a man. Exactly. Sexuality has been so perverted to think anything with the genitals. It involves the entire body, mind, and soul. Women want their man to make them feel like a woman. Well, it works both ways. Most women nowadays offer little more than regular sex, and when sex is so easily offered, why should any of us guys bother to commit? I keep reading news stories, a trend, of young men shrugging off marriage, like Atlas shrugging off the world. The distinction is excellent. Rather than seeing women as just female genitals with their breasts and butt, etc., being merely genital ornamentation, men do want to marry only real women. But with every woman I come across, they all say, I understand men. You won't find a male who will say such a thing about women with any real confidence. They think they know how to control men, how to make men happy, but they are so vain and so wrong it is laughable. All we learn on sexuality nowadays are stale evolution theories, bogus psychologies, and bumper sticker political statements. There is no real knowledge on sexuality these days. There is no emphasis on girls to become ladies or boys to become men. It's time for the world to have a true sexual revolution. Attention whores. Forum poster BG Man wrote, People who read and actually believe what crows wrote will be strung around and used by attention whores unless you wake up. Yes, it does appear there are attention whores who do all they can to get male attention, but I prefer to think of them as loving the sport rather than the fruits of the sport. They enjoy fishing, but not the caught fish. Women do become more attached to guys who take their virginity and often return to them, but what Crows says is quite correct. Guys, please read the following until it gets ingrained in your head. Pook hops up to the platform and shouts, Women do not know the difference between sex and respect. Women treat sex like money because women see it as a medium of exchange. You could even cynically say that we men treat respect and money like sex, since we expect it to get pregnant and reproduce. But nevertheless, what is the point? It is this. If we are going to talk about a woman's integrity, then we are going to be here forever. As much as I can see, the only reason why the lady has what we think of as integrity is for her to keep her man, to honor her parents, the father especially. Remember, women do not have the appreciation for the higher codes of honor and transcendence as we men do. They only appreciate it in males, never in themselves. BG man, you decry the attention whores, but femininity is exactly that. What is it that women most fear? It is to be the old maid. It is to never know the fleeting emotion known as love. It is to never have known a lover. Pook holds up a tablet. On this tablet we see the male virtues. We see things like philosophy, honor, and so forth. We see things like chastity in women, girls staying true to a single guy, and so on. Pook now holds up another tablet. These are the female virtues. In Womaniverse, women form a natural aristocracy based solely on who gets the most attention from men. Pook points to the top. The highest point is marriage. The married chick is always on a higher plane than any non-marriage chick in this aristocracy. She has a man bounded by her. Thus, she is womanly, she is feminine. While men dream of a day when having respect from all people in the world, women dream of their marriage day. Why? Because it is their transcendence. Pook points lower on the tablet. We move down further and we see a pattern. Then a woman who has a boyfriend. After that, a woman who is pretty and has potential for getting a male. Pook points to the bottom of the tablet. The woman that can get no male, why, she is looked down upon by other women and seen as a subhuman being. In a woman's eye, it is better to be a whore than an old maid. Pook holds up the female tablet. What are we to learn of womanly virtues? Nothing. They are decadent. Men can rank themselves on who can best conquer the world, while women rank themselves on who does and can best conquer men. Male attention. These are the points to their feminine score. They are all attention whores on some level. You may think there are only some women who seek male attention, the attention whores, while the rest are good. This is a nice guy illusion. Just as some women want sex while others are good, where in fact they all want it, especially the nice girls. All women crave male attention. Period. Of course, a woman like that may possibly leave you for another guy. The point is that these attention whores are following the female tablet's virtues. They will realize that if they want a decent man, they must start following the male tablet. Pook throws the female tablet down in an explosion of fire. Rather than trying to figure out woman, how can you figure out nothing? As King Lear would say, nothing comes from nothing. Let us take up this. Pook holds up the male tablet. And let us be men once again. Habit is all. The reason for my success is habit. A Don Juan is a sum of correct habits. This pales to other ideas. Some think message boards contain magic, which will instantly turn one into a Don Juan. Others think special spirits will jump out of the Don Juan Bible and blossom you into a Don Juan. But this is poppycock. Poppycock? Pook says. Yes, poppycock. Even if you had every mental formula and idea ingrained in your head, you still won't be successful with women or anything. Look at you, a plop of flesh sitting on a chair. How do you get from there to with the chicks? I will take a deep breath, go out with all the confidence and get the chick. This is blitzkrieg. It might work, but you're still a loose cannon. Confidence is comfortableness. Don't try to force yourself into something that seems entirely alien to you. You'll never be comfortable with it. Alter your habits, and so you alter your life. Make it a habit to talk to girls. Make it a habit to be social. Make it a habit to look for dates. Make it a habit to date. Make it a habit to Don Juan.
But Pook, these will require an initial icebreaker.
Yes, but that should not be where you place the challenge at. Focus on being consistent. Sure, you can create a huge mental drama about approaching that hot chick, but you should focus on being consistent in approaching hot chicks in general. This one chick is nothing in your string of routine. Think of it like that. Women are not ice water.
He who hesitates masturbates,
we hear. Or we might hear,
imagine yourself old and dreaming of what you could have done. Go out today or die.
Some people even do affirmations to get them to approach. But approaching is not a disconnected thing in itself. Talking to women should not be like plunging into ice water. You whirl a slogan in your head and you go blitzkrieg on her. Rather, women should be seen as warm water, something you ease into pleasantly. There is no need to cannonball into them. It's similar to working out. Habit is the key to success in working out. Without it, nothing else matters. A guy doing the best workouts in perfect form and intensity only a few times is inferior to the guy who does crappy workouts and is consistent with them. You are not the smoothest guy with the ladies. You know what? Neither am I. However, you have an advantage over the smooth guys. You are more consistent. Hey, they might go for a girl once a month. You, however, will be going for them far more often. In the end, you will become smooth, even while the smoothest guy gets rusty. What are you doing now? Surfing the internet? Do you do this every day? Do you enter your little hyper-reality of video games and mental riddles? How do you break from this cycle? By changing your habits. If you can change your habits, you will change your life. Your habits are your prophecy. Endure and keep those habits, and your life will change just as simply as turning a dial to overdrive. It's that simple. So instead of focusing on asking out the chick or talking to the chick, focus on the continuity of it. She will then become just one chick in your routine. You focus on the routine, on the consistency, not on the chick. Where will you be 5 years from now? Hopefully you will not still be on the site reading posts. Here is a story I enjoy and wish to share with you. At the age of 22, he worked for his father at a bakery. He was married and had a kid on the way. Because of these rising costs, he asked for a raise. His father didn't give it to him. So he walked away from the bakery with only $22 in his pocket and a wife with a child on the way. He started a sandwich business that became popular as he went around to construction sites. Eventually, he entered the construction company and became one of the largest construction companies in California. He would eventually buy a football team and watch them win the Super Bowl. Who is this guy? Alex Spanos. How did he get there from here? He says, habit. He detailed what he wanted to do with his life in 5 years. He slowly worked towards those goals, and he met them every time. In fact, he would meet them before reaching the 5-year mark. Compare this with other guys. Many have dreams, few have goals. By putting a time limit on what you want to do, you often set yourself to achieve it.
Then in 5 years, I want all the chicks to be wanting me.
It doesn't have to be 5 years. It could be 2 months. And you can't place your success on other people. You can say that you want to gain or lose weight, get your life together, get that job you've been wanting, become more social, whatever. You cannot say, I'm going to have a girlfriend in X amount of time. That depends on someone else. Rather say, I'm going to get in the routine of talking to chicks, asking them out, and being more social. The goal then becomes a prophecy. Focus on the habit. Aristotle says we are the sum of our habits, and this is true. I've talked to a lot of guys on being successful with women. One thing that separates them from other guys is that they focused on the habit, not on the girl or the procedure. They told themselves, I will ask out 20 girls this week. In almost every case, they do not get to 20 because they end up getting a girlfriend after the first few. It is that simple. Behind every Don Juan is a series of correct habits, which are detailed throughout this site. For habit is the child of mindset. And this is how, as you think, you shall become.